I work on assessing the impacts of climate change, mostly on hydrology, right? And part of that, what our work involves is working with people to try to plan how to incorporate climate change into the decisions that they make, right? In order to increase their resilience, or in order to be ready for the anticipated changes in some other way. And the thing that really gives me hope is that sort of time and time again, as we look at this in detail, it's generally the case that what we find is that it's well within our capacity to adapt to climate change, to manage what we expect to come. And that's a really sort of empowering thought, right? I mean, I think that a lot of the issue around climate change and around people's engagement with climate change is that it's this big problem, and it's not clear that how to come up with a solution that measures up to that problem, right? People used to say, change your light bulbs, right? And that sort of felt insulting. And and then at the local level, there's some places that are doing lots of things, but even at the local level, that doesn't always feel like it's enough. And then at the national level, some people say that's not enough, right? And so what do you do with that? That's sort of paralyzing, right? And I think looking at it from the standpoint of adaptation, of preparing for climate change, it becomes a lot more empowering, because then it really is this the local small-scale decisions that make a difference, and that really highlight and bring it home how it affects us both, so in these really concrete ways, like I have a project that's looking at flood risk associated with sea level rise and stream flow in the Snohomish River Basin and a little bit north of Seattle here. And so that's this really concrete way that climate change is changing the risk of flooding, and we can really look across the floodplain and see which areas are more at risk than others and what we could do. And there are other examples looking at changes in snow and how that affects river runoff, and how that affects, recently we did a little calculation looking at how much snow, how long the ski season should be for the ski slopes and the Cascades, right? And so there are these really sort of concrete, small, like detailed, concrete sort of sector or interest-specific impacts that we can look at, and that really gets down to the scale of where we can think about what we could do to adapt to them.